Previously on Dances with Dice, when last we left our heroes, Finian, the halfling artificer, Felix, the human bard, and Theo, the satyr fighter, out of the frying pan and into the apocalypse. As the body of the gem dragon tumbles from the sky, landing in front of our heroes, the world seems to crumble down around them. What dangers await them this week on Dances with Dice?
All right. You guys find yourself standing in this sort of courtyard area. There's a very small courtyard. You're kind of like in a... Actually, you guys find yourself exactly in the first time you ever arrived in Marishane, and you found those little like section of inns you could stand in. You find yourself, well, it's a little bit more destroyed than it was last time. There's not as many buildings standing, but you kind of find yourselves here in that like first area. You have just watched the body of the gem dragon hit and begin sort of shrinking back into itself. The blue dragon is circling victorious overhead, and you can see it starting to like shoot lightning at other parts of the city. It seems that it's taking its time and enjoying its victory. You, after about maybe 30 seconds or so, you just have the body of Braneth, the drow, just sort of like laying there unconscious, just breathing very shallowly in a small crater where this body hit.
We get him out. We get him out.
What would you like to do?
We get him out now.
We get him out. I'm gonna go get him.
Okay, you go running over. You kind of slide down into the little crater. That's the word I was fucking looking for. You slide into the crater.
Finn's right behind her.
Using his big brain to help.
I can cure people's.
That's true. You can cure people's.
I got the brain. I cure people with my brain, not the magic.
All right. You guys both run down. They are unconscious, but alive. It appears like they're just kind of like apparently seems to be knocked out.
First thing I'm gonna do is spare the.
Okay. Spare the dying. They get brought back to 1 HP, and just kind of like their breathing goes from like to like sort of like a little like more of like a panting, like they are stabilized.
And then we are going to do a level 2 cure.
Okay. And how much HP
12.
do they get back? 12. Okay. Their eyes shoot open, and it's like. What's going on? Where am I? Where am I? So starts like scratching at like his arms and stuff, like trying to
grabs their hands. Brenneth, I need you to take deep breaths. It's going to be okay, but we need to get out of here. We need to go. We have Vonnie. Vonnie is safe.
And like looks over and say, looks like. What the fuck did you do, Vonnie? She's half of Vonnie.
There's been some incidents that have occurred. There's been some bad things. We'll go over that, but right now we need to get to safety. Right now we are not safe. We need to go somewhere safe now. So you can freak out then, but right now we need to go.
Okay, sure. Leaving's good.
We're going to stay alive. We're going to stay alive.
And he just kind of like sort of like stands up, wobbly. He's like,
Theo will help him.
He's like, as he stands up, like immediately like vomits to the side of you. He's like,
"That's okay. It's okay.
Oh,
I'll be covered in more stuff."
It feels like I've Have I been flying?
Maybe. We're going to discuss that. We'll get to that. Right now we go. Right now, let's just think about what comes next. We put one foot in front of the other. One foot in front of the other. Take a breath. One foot in front of the other.
Okay.
Walking next to him, Finn whips out a minor healing potion after he throws up, and he's like, "Here, wash it out."
So it's like he takes another
Gargle
sip.
this healing potion.
He takes another sip and it's just like, oh, thank you, Finian. That was, oh, I have such a wicked headache. Right.
Where's Felix?
He gains another 6.
Thank you. All right, so he's at 18. I would assume Felix, you're kind of standing at the edge of the pit. You guys kind of climb your way out, and you're all standing there momentarily, and you guys like take a moment. It's like Brandon looks at all of you, say, "Raw, where the fuck are we going?"
We have no earthly idea. Everything's fucked.
Well, I mean, I'll assume you guys go away out of the city, hopefully.
Will they mind if we brought guests? I guess we have to because Vonnie is attached to.
Look, if you go away out of the city, I mean, he's like, he looks up at the big dragon, looks up at the dragon circle, and it's like, if you go away out, that's quiet. Obviously, that's great. I'm a lovely house guest, I would hope.
What do we do? Do we look for more people? Do we go? Brenneth, that dragon is going to want Brenneth dead.
It definitely wants me dead. Yeah,
How long
that's.
does it take to use the? Does anyone know how to use it?
You guys were told
Work?
the scroll is instantaneous. Basically, you activate the scroll and it will teleport you. It's a one-way teleportation scroll to that teleportation circle. So it's just a like, it's quite literally a like. If you read it, actually, like you would have read it at this point. It's actually a very formal dinner invitation, and the central piece of art is the teleportation circle that you activate and are brought to the dinner.
So after seeing like that woman, like seeing like what just been happening.
Alex, you need to get closer to your mic. You're cutting in and out.
Sorry. After seeing like what could have happened to that family and kind of like seeing that, Finn, it's like after, look, I don't feel right leaving unless we save as many as we can. Like it's instant, right? We could use it at any time.
Yes.
I don't know if I can just leave.
As you guys are sort of discussing among you, you hear another as the blue dragon like sort of like lands, straddles like a couple buildings alongside like the street where you're in. Very if anyone has seen the loading screen of like, if anyone has seen that trailer from World of Warcraft Cataclysm many years ago of Deathwing straddling Stormwind, that's sort of the effect you've got going on right now.
Rattling.
And he leans his neck down towards all of you. He's like, not so mighty now, eh?
Very mighty. Teleportation. This time Theo's making the executive decision. We are getting the fuck out of here with a living dragon.
That was such a fucking karma move right there. You don't hang up on me, I hang up on you.
All right.
You don't get the best of me, I get the best of you.
Theo, you grab the scroll, you slam your fist into the teleportation circle. All of you feel this sort of shrinking and like tearing and expanding sensation. And you guys feel yourself dropping out of like what feels like a long interstellar tube. And then as soon as you blink once, open your eyes, and then suddenly as you all sort of like land, and you are sitting at a beautifully fully set dinner table. There are
and we're all bloodied.
There are several turkeys and chickens. There's a large plate of rolls. There are several pies and cakes for dessert, 3 different jugs of 3 different wines, and a decanter of what looks like very old whiskey. All of you have landed in chairs. A little bit more cramped because the chairs that were summoned due to the number of guests. So what appears to be like a what was like an intimate setting for 5 has now expanded into a larger setting for 7. And like as soon as you all land here, as
To be
Theo says,
fair.
like covered in blood, dust, there's some burn and scorch marks on all of you.
Some people got some brain residue on them.
Exactly. He's like you're covered in muck, and then
From
like
when their heads just did that.
from when their heads just did that, and then when you guys come as soon as you guys land, like the door is like swung open. Marcellus walks in like a 3-piece suit entirely made of silk. It's salmon with a cream shirt and a bright orange bow tie. Like,
Welcome. Humble. Oh my God, what happened to you lots? Is everything okay? Like, oh God, what happened? Bernadette, I don't know if we're actually having dinner tonight. You can go put on the less fancy dress, and like you hear around the corner, it's like, "Aw, okay." And you hear walking back up the stairs, but you can very clearly hear as she walks up the stairs what sounds like a 20-foot train of fabric following behind her up the stairs.
Good God.
And she comes back down, and then once she comes back down, you see Bean. She is dressed in a gorgeous evening, like sort of evening dinner gown.
No, she doesn't have to take it off. She can be pretty.
Oh no! This is the
She
new
can be
dress. She
pretty at the
comes.
same
No,
time.
she just detached the train.
Yeah,
Oh.
so
No,
she comes back down in like a very like thin, svelte, sort of like almost like a slip, like underneath style of a dinner dress that like something is supposed to go on top of. It has one large leg slit and like a little bit of a plunging neckline. She is wearing ruby, like sort of large ruby earrings and a beautiful ruby brooch with a locket at her neck. And again, cleaned up, not in a mining town for literal years at a time. She looks gorgeous, just absolutely stunning. And you can, as she comes in, it's like, I hadn't gotten to wear that in almost 100 years. Oh well, next time we have a party. Hi guys. Oh wow, you look fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who are your friends?
This is Brenneth and Vonnie. I dragons in Marishane.
And then I'm also gonna point at our friends. Dragon.
Pointing at Brenneth. Dragon. Brenneth.
Branneth raises a finger. I'm not entirely convinced, but
It might be fake news.
I also will not ask anyone to deny the evidence of their eyes. I don't remember being a dragon, though. Also, you have a lovely home. Thank you for your hospitality. And you two see like you watch as Bean and Marcellus exchange a look, and then slowly you see Marcellus reach into his pocket, pull out a single coin, and just put it in Bean's palm. She's like, told you.
I feel like it's one of those
Okay.
moments where Marcellus is like yells. You remember in Spider-Man where like the wedding gets canceled and he's like, Charlotte, don't open, or like don't open the caviar.
Don't open the caviar. It's like, I will go get the less fancy but much more necessary conversational spirits. And he goes walking. He goes walking off to find the cheap whiskey and vodka. This is
I'm
not.
so sorry for ruining your lovely dinner. The spread is absolutely
no,
lovely.
no.
It looks delicious.
No. It's okay. You very clearly have just seen something awful happen, and I mean, eat, please. Like
all this is going on and Finn's like already eating like.
Are we still
but he can't like not
Yes.
enjoy the food, but he's also just like it was terrible. Like as he's like shoving his face. Like,
as she says, like, seen something terrible, Theo remembers the books, and her face kind of gets crunched. There were so many books.
oh,
And they're gone.
Oh no, that would make sense. Yeah, that would be smart.
Do you have a wet washcloth I can borrow?
Poor Felix is like just covered in the blood and the dust and the viscera.
Tired of having brain matter on me.
And seeing a dragon for the second, because technically we've already seen one dragon, and that was Barty.
I will say, for the sake of brevity, basically the food is all left out. The more fancy alcohol and like the candles and everything is kind of cleared away.
They put the champagne away.
They put the champagne away. They put
I feel so bad.
they put the they put the champagne away and all of that. You are directed each to individual rooms that have been laid up for you guys. There are baths drawn in each of them. You can like kind of clean up a little bit and like take a moment. You guys take like 15, 20 minutes, kind of like breathe, relax, decompress momentarily.
Just imagine Finn sitting in like a normal sized person's tub and he just looks like a child. Just like just sitting there like solemnly in the tub like that's the image you get.
Theo's definitely like just having a minute in her bath, and she's got the box, of course, nearby, but one hand remains on the box at all times because she's going through it, gang. She's like
Trying to not think about it. The box is in the room, but we're really trying to not.
We're not thinking about the box. We're not thinking about the box, but I am touching the box.
Like all things, don't think about the box.
Don't think about the box. But that dragon came so close, and he could have easily just taken the box. And he could have taken Brenneth, and this is like her dream come true. The dragon's coming back at the same time, and is it really all you dreamed about, Theo? Is it really? Is it really all you dreamed of?
This very much.
How could you think of this?
This really does feel like one of those things where it's like we've seen it in movies and like TV shows and books and like pretty much everywhere. It's just like oh yeah, one of the main characters, they get everything they wanted. Oh, not like this. Oh, it was I did no planning beyond wishing for it. Oh fuck.
Like, man, I wish
fuck.
I could get set. Oh man, isekai seems so cool. Get sent into an isekai, everything's just awful. Like
it's like this is very big monkey paw curls sort of energy for Theo.
Yeah. Yeah, the monkey paw absolutely curled.
Possible.
Mm-hmm.
The monkey paw has curled for Theo.
I got my wish, but at what cost?
Yeah, you guys clean yourselves up. There are some more like just nicer, non-traveling armored clothing about. You're all like some nice linens and some more comfortable house clothes. So you guys are able to kind of like get cleaned up, get dressed up. Relax and like kind of like, oh my god, we're alive, and you are able to return to the dinner table.
How's Vani doing?
They've got Vani kind of propped up in her own chair, just kind of like just sitting there, just kind of sitting there. She's like, just like looking around, just like, this is the first time I've been somewhere that's almost as old as me, I think.
She's like in one of those little Applebee's booster seats.
Yeah, she's in like a high chair. Branneth is just kind of like individually. He's got like a rotisserie chicken in front of him. Is just like individually picking off like individual like strips of meat and like just eating them, just like slowly, like just complete disassociation. The lights are on. No one is fucking home in his head right now.
He's so real for that.
He's still a child, right?
He's young. He's even in
young enough that we decided it was weird if I flirted.
Yeah,
with
yeah, I remember that. He's young enough where it'd be weird if there was flirting.
He's under 50, which in this world for elves and drow is not considered the age of maturity. I believe he's the equivalent of like he'd be the equivalent of like a 16 or 17-year-old at this point. He's not a baby, but he is not an adult.
But he's not a grown-up.
Like the equivalent would be he's like 40. He's like 45. In like his years, so he's
like,
older
than me, but he's still younger than me.
Yeah, he is not yet.
He's like a 22-year-old human. His brain hasn't fully developed at 25 yet.
Well, no, he is because in this world, because of the results of their enslavement of the dragons, especially dwarves and elves, who are much longer lived species, and their age of maturity is like normally much longer, but because the reality of when so many people are killed over and over and over again, you must change things. So they have adjusted their age of like adulthood down like 50 some odd years, give or take the basically half of what it would be. So for elves, 100 is now 50. So he would not be considered the age of maturity. He'd be the equivalent of like a 17-year-old, like a couple of months from his birthday, sort of thing. So still a completely underdeveloped brain, and also apparently turned into a dragon. So not going well for him. Bean is sitting at the end of the table. She's just kind of like eating and sort of enjoying herself. And Marcellus has come back. There are several bottles of just vodka, whiskey, just like strong, cheap spirits, just like, and he looks at you just like, so, it might be best if you start from the top. Obviously, we've received there have been several messages and missives from Marishane. I took a quick pop over to the mine, and it's not good, whatever it is. It is believed that the government will be able to take control again of the city. When that will happen, we are unsure. There was mention of a blue dragon. Did you see any of that?
Yep, we did. We still saw all of it. The blue dragon, Vani said that was High Lord Boros.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's not good.
The other dragon was him. Points at Branneth.
And then everyone kind of like all the heads turn towards Branneth, and then kind of just like, it's like, eh. Just waves a little bit. Goes back to eating and disassociating. No
He's just like, "Me
offense.
for real."
No offense, Theo. He's a child. You're certain.
Positive. Vani saw him transform, and we saw him transform back. When he hit the ground, it became a crater, and he became his drow self again. When we went
All right.
unconscious. He doesn't seem to know anything about it, though. I don't know if it's a memory spell or what. Or if he just never knew.
Right.
I don't know.
There were always rumors of this. That dragons had developed the ability to hide themselves amongst the mortals. It was laughed away back in the day. Impossible. They need our magics. They need our power, our magic to function. How on earth would they be able to take our forms? But this is concerning. This also means, as I'm sure you're aware, no one in the positions of authority can be trusted now. If someone as high as Boros was a dragon for all these years, he has been the leader of the Company of Delar for the last 35 years. And then Vani from like, just like, actually it's 50 years. These are long, deep, and well thought out plans that have been in place for decades at this point. He looks at all of you. Is there anyone or any way someone might be able to follow, find, track one of the three of you through connections you might have to people in positions of power?
No.
To here? No. I
In
don't
any-
think anybody knows that this even is.
No. That knows your whereabouts. People who might be, people in power who might be aware or might have been able to track you in some. Once you've arrived, the castle is lead-lined. You are safe from any prying eyes here. You need not worry about that. We have ensured.
Then what are you worried?
Besides
what
the
are you
High Lord
asking?
Boros.
You cannot stay here forever, obviously. Once you leave the safety of these walls, anyone who can track you will be tracking you. So, the question becomes what precautions could possibly be taken before you reappear on the, I guess it would be planar map, as it were. Or any connections you might have that might be able to facilitate you getting information if people don't think you know what you know. The only benefit you have now is the chaos of what's happening in Marishane. And the fact that you were able to escape makes you both targets and very, very, very valuable to anyone on either side of this conflict.
Nobody really knows who we are. I mean, we're not famous.
I mean, you have
He's-
university connections.
Yeah, but I'm a nobody. The only person who knows me is Myers. Everybody thinks he's crazy.
As soon as he's like, your teacher, your master, like what is your relationship to Professor Myers?
I don't know, like a second dad, I guess. Like nobody takes him see, only like people. He's got, I guess you'd call it, he's been there so long that everyone just kind of leaves into his own devices. But unless you get to know him, everybody there thinks he's kind of nuts.
He's got tenure.
he's got tenure.
He's not high profile. He's not anything. He's just, I saw what he knew, and I think he saw what I was capable of.
Finian, did I do hate using his name. Did Boom Boom ever tell you why no one ever really bothers with his experiments? Why they give him a wide berth?
I assumed it
know
was
that
because he was bad
name?
at it.
You know his nickname.
How do you know?
Before I was trapped here under a mountain for a very, very, very long time, I had to be out and about and meet my lovely Bernadette somewhere out in the world. There's
Yes,
no better.
Bernadette.
There's no.
Bernadette.
There's no better place to form relationships than the crucible that is combat, and the nickname Boom Boom came from your dear teacher's incredible ability to work explosive sorts of magics and different sort of projects. The only reason that any if you've ever seen them, the arcane cannons that dot any wall or military installation, or that you perhaps yourself might have worked about with in the college, he is the only reason they function. He was able to figure out and harvest Aftermiria and processes in such a way that was able to power these things. But to gain that knowledge, the reason there's a couple screws loose up there is because he has more than one brain sort of bumping around in his skull. Not physically, mind you. Sorry,
Okay.
not physically, not physically, not physically.
Upsetting.
No, not physically, not
Deeply.
physically, not physically. There was a ritual. Several worm speakers and their drakes had been mortally wounded. These were some of the oldest and most well-known.
You trying to tell me he's got a fucking dragon in his chilling in his brain with him?
A dragon and 2 dragon riders, yes. They were a husband and wife duo. It was romantic at the time, and
wait. Like,
The height of romance living in this crazy man's brain.
Why does nobody at the college, everybody, like, does anybody know? Like, 'cause it's just nobody. He's not why isn't he more important? Why isn't he, like he's just a professor. Why isn't he treated if he's this important? It's nothing nothing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to call just nothing you're saying makes any sense because he's not. He would be so important if that were the case, and he's not, or at least nobody alludes to that, and everybody at the college just treats him like, even like everybody. He's just a professor, and kind of a nutty professor.
I point at Bean, who is one of the most important people we have met.
We found
We thought
in a
she
mining
was
camp.
crazy, and she is very important.
When
It
I
was-
first told you guys about dragon cults, you called me crazy.
That's because you are.
Hey,
When, Finian, to answer your question, when the founding of the kingdoms and the aftermath of the war, it was... Finian, you are quickly discovering that the stories you read about heroism and the actual realities of being a hero are two very different things. There were many things done in the war that probably shouldn't have been. There were rituals performed and magics harnessed and things done to ensure the survival of a species that even at the time we knew that it would change the world in ways not understood. It's not that he is not important, it is that he is protected. Think about it. Two of the oldest, most wise and powerful beings that have possibly ever existed. These were two of the first ever worm speakers and one of the first dragons who had agreed to join their ranks. Suma and Tirana were their names. Sumatarana, Tirana and Suma. They had knowledge and plans and strategies that they felt were sequential to the conflict. And there had been some experiments done and some magics tried to help with the binding of consciousnesses across life and death. Boom Boom. He offered to be a vessel of sorts. His own personality would be suppressed, asleep almost. And within him, Suma and Tirana would assume control of his physical form, and he would be able to, through him, their knowledge would flow and be able to continue to aid in the war effort. Without them, the defenses around the forts at what is now the Royal Aftermiria mines would have fallen many times over. However, there are side effects to heroics. And when the other personalities were, these other minds were supposed to sleep, the Mayas that came back was changed, different. When you engage in one of these things, your mind is not unconscious to what it is doing. It is simply suspended.
Fine. What is this? What does any of this have to do with what's going on right now? Why does it matter? If they're asleep or if they're what? But are you saying that my that who knows about this other than you? Who knows? Look,
any
this
dragons?
Just, Finn stands up and just like he leaves. It's just he can't.
He
This is just too much.
Marcellus is going to stop. Marcellus is going to stop you, Finn, and he's going to put a hand on your chest. Like, the point is this, Finian. The only people who would know anything about what happened during the war are people who are still around from it. And that means if you have a connection to Professor Myers that they can possibly track, the only people who would be looking for that connection are the people who know that it was there to begin with. Boros is an ancient blue dragon of some kind. It means he survived the war, which means he knows that others have survived the war. You two.
That's less about him. Then that's less about him tracking us, and we need to go. We need to find him, because if that's the case, then he's in trouble.
You all are in danger. You won't be able to stay here, obviously, but the point is this. If there is any way that you can be tracked, or if you have some connection,
I don't care about being tracked right now. Look, if he's that important, then he's probably going to be the first person they go after, and we have to do something.
Messages have been dispatched to trustworthy individuals, but you are not wrong. You are going to have to go out and do something.
How do you know they're trustworthy individuals? You just said no one could be trusted.
These are individuals that I myself have personally worked with, Finian. And you yourself are engaging in some level of trust by the fact that you have come here into my home with my hospitality, hoping that I am also not going to betray you. I understand. He takes a breath. Finian, emotions are high. I understand this, and I'm sympathetic to your plot. But please, and do not take this. Please take no offense to this. I have been doing this much longer than you have. I know whom I can trust, and I know whom will help. I am here to assist you three in ensuring that no one you care about will be harmed. But before any of that, we need a plan, and I need to know what avenues that these forces might have to try to find you. Because not only are you in danger, but everyone else might be as well.
My mother is a general, and she's aware that I was in Mare Shane.
All right.
I don't know her connections to anything, but if you think I know a lot about dragons.
What is your mother's name?
Guinevere LaCour.
At that name, two simultaneous things happen. Brannith like reassociates momentarily. You watch as his eyes go from like his like more drow eyes. He blinks. They changed like these draconic irises. He spits. His eyes. He blinks. His eyes close, and he's back to normal. It's like, the fuck was that? And then for the first time ever, for all of you, you watch as Bean's face goes from like an impassive sort of happy nothingness to like her brows furrow and she's like,
Oh God, I hope she hasn't been getting up to what I fear she's been getting up to.
Hey, does your mom suck? That's not in character.
The answer may surprise you.
Hey, Brandon, what was that?
Can
we talk about that? What you just did there? Can we talk about that? The sound of
I'll-
my mother's name doing that.
I'll
And Bean, can we talk about your face? Can we talk about that too?
I wish I knew. However,
I don't like that my mother's name was a fucking sleeper agent.
Right, no. I get that. It's like, I will say this. I don't know why that happened. However, I am beginning to believe you lot that there might be something up here. So, that's good, I suppose. And Bean kind of looks at you, Theo. It's like, Theo, I love you. And I have a great affection for you. You're very nice and very sweet. I say all these things knowing that what I'm about to say is not a reflection of you. Your mother is a cunt.
Yeah. Yeah, she is. She's not. Well,
No,
she is, but she isn't. She's.
No, what I mean, like, and I'm really sorry about this, Theo. It'll be a bridge you cross at some point, but whatever good memories you have of your mother, cherish them. Because they're all you're gonna have left.
Holy shit! God damn!
What?
Bean, that went hard as fuck.
But what?
You
What did I
need
do?
to go. You need to go to Wormspeaker Fortress as soon as you can.
Are my sisters okay?
Your family's fine. It is just your mother's legacy is more complicated than you think. The fortress will answer your the fortress will answer more questions.
No, I think you guys should answer some questions. You're sitting here telling us, people we thought we knew our entire lives aren't who we thought we knew, and
I will not claim to ever have known my mother. I will not claim to have ever known the machinations of her mind. Only that I
it
am-
doesn't matter. Like, we shouldn't have to go somewhere. If you know what's going on, you should tell her.
Marcellus is just like, there are some stories we can share, and unfortunately,
No, that's bullshit. You can't sit here and expect us to trust you if you're not gonna tell us everything. Look, that just seems like the foundations of trust. You can't just be like, oh no, we can't tell you things because, what. No, this is the fucking world is ending.
I won't pretend like I don't want all those answers too, but I think that I trust Bean. Bean is the most important person on the planet, and if Bean says that I need to go there, then... And I see your face over there. It's true. She is. Look at her. I know she's a bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
This is out of character. This is out of character.
I was... Sorry, everybody. Just Morgan made a face.
I was laughing. I think it's funny that we call her the most important person in the universe.
At least it's
great.
that is what
It's a
Theo
very
thinks.
intense
You guys
title.
might have different. Theo's got her own version of military/religious trauma in which this has literally been her whole life. And so as far as she's
You're
concerned,
good. Just continue.
it's like,
maybe if she showed Bean to her mom would finally be proud of her. Like, I trust Bean. And if Bean says this is what I need to do, then it is what I'm going to do.
Marcellus looks at you, Finny, and it's like, if we could, we would. This isn't information held back simply because the air of mystery is enjoyable in an apocalypse. There is magic at work here. There are spells at work. There are things that bind us older than ourselves. Draconic magic is not to be trifled with, boy. I appreciate your frustration. I appreciate your anger. I appreciate the stress you find yourself under. But please do not assume malice. We are trying to assist you as much as we can. We do not want this world to end any more than you do, especially given the fact that we were the first ones to fight for it.
You all haven't been doing a great job of keeping it, have you?
No,
I mean, he's been under rubble for
I
a
won't deny
considerable
it.
amount of time, and Bean was crazy.
Yeah.
Bean had gone crazy due to the magical cocaine.
The magical Coke. Everyone's favorite Coke.
Miss
Finian, I'm not pretending we're perfect ethereal beings. The world fucked up. It got complacent. And it stopped paying attention to the dangers it should have. Unless you've found a way to wind back time to fix that, we have to deal with the issue at hand.
Which is what? You know, what do we have to go do?
There are several hotspots that have popped up in the missives that I've received. I'll say at this point, because like time has passed, it'll been like several hours since you guys have arrived. Like you've been chatting, eating, like, you know,
Nom 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 nom.
sort of like, you know, like recovering from what's been going on. It's like all the major cities on Odos were attacked in some way. Covenheim, Marishane, Tillinen Fortress. Tillinen Fortress and Covenheim have gained a hold over the situation. Armed forces are headed towards Marishane to try to contain the situation, but as far as everything has been reported, it appears that what was a carefully executed plan has... The complacency has infected the ranks over the last century, and so it was not as organized and as well thought out as intended. From what information has been gathered, the idea was by the end of today, Odos and the Mercian Empire would be in the hands of the Metallic Dragon forces. That has not occurred. Whether by hook, by crook, I'm not sure. What this does mean, though, is that the cult of Chromatis has played its first hand and has revealed itself upon the world. So what we need is people who are connected, knowledgeable of the situation, and executing ways in which to try to push them back.
Felix?
We have received word from... There are people within the ranks at both Tillinen Fortress, Covenheim, that both have requested aid through the old channels, as it were. Those would be two places you could go. I also know that
Covenheim is on the way to the fortress, isn't it?
No,
Other
it's not.
directions.
You guys are at the Royal Aftermiria mines now. It is going north or going south. Because
Right.
remember, you
Castle
warped,
is in the
you
other direction.
warped to the castle.
Right. We're not in
so you-
Marishane anymore.
So it's like either Covenheim or Tillinen Fortress needs assistance, and of course Professor Myers is at Tillinen Fortress as well at the college. Or you may begin your journey, and he like looks at the chest on the back of Theo's back, or kind of like sitting with her. It's like ignoring the elephant in the room of what that is.
We don't think about the box.
The box needs to go home.
Are we prepared to take the box home, in your professional opinion? Is there a
I
level
believe-
cap on this dungeon?
I believe he says he's like, you are as equipped as you are going to be.
You're saying we could make it up the Wormspeaker Fortress?
Yes. You possess a key.
Is it his curse?
No,
That
it's the
seems oddly
box.
specific.
Well, if we're gonna go,
Your curse is supposed to be very old.
well, look,
But
if
it's
we're
got
gonna be going,
shit to do with the
will you
fucking
both shut up for
snap
just for
problem.
1 second? If we're gonna go headlong into fucking God knows what, I believe you promised us some tools to help us on.
Oh, now he's cashing it in.
That I did.
What a time to cash it in, babe.
That I did indeed.
Just because Morgan has made me mad. Hey, Felix, do you have any special connections? Since apparently we two do. How about you?
It doesn't matter.
I would disagree.
Bean looks up. It's like, Felix, you're not very pretty when you lie.
Hypothetically, if I did, it doesn't matter. Because I am not trackable the way I am right now. And nobody would be looking for me. And I think that's the most important part, is that no one is looking for Felix Faircourt.
But if Felix Faircourt wasn't Felix Faircourt, are there the people who are looking for the other version of Felix, Felix's friend, that could help?
That would require
Connections.
people missing the friend of Felix Faircourt. And I find that doubtful.
Finn's really confused because he doesn't mean.
Bean pops up. Bean pipes up.
Finian's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't get the metaphor.
Finn hasn't been as interested in Felix's like secrets as Theo has.
Yeah.
I'm interested in all your secrets. All the
Bean-
secrets of everybody.
Bean pipes up momentarily. It's like, there's someone looking for you, Felix.
Ooh.
Is it me?
Is it me?
No.
Jesus.
No.
Is it me? Yeah.
It's like, no. So, the person looking for you, I think, is helpful, not harmful. But you never know. World's crazy. There's dragons again. That's fucking weird.
That there are.
Anyway, sweetie, and he's like,
Yes, pumpkin.
it's like, I am going to go take a bath. You all have a lovely rest of your night, and I will see you in the morning. She just kind of traipses off. And Marcellus looks at all of you. It's like,
You are correct, Finian. I did promise you help. So, I offer you two choices. There is a ritual I can perform, an empowering ritual that will aid you in any future journeys you might have. Or, I have several incredibly powerful magical artifacts from within the vault that I have been collecting. You may each take one of those. And mechanically, how this will work is, if you would like, you may acquire 2 green items, 1 blue item, or as a group, you may get 1 useful purple item that will benefit the group as a whole, or the empowering ritual, you may get a level.
So our options are,
Items or a
No,
level
no.
up.
well, our options just as if we were treating the items as like, so the options for items is either 2 green ones.
2 greens individually each, 1 blue individually each, or 1 purple that is a singular item for the group as a whole. Or everyone gets a level up.
I want a purple.
It would be a group item, just so you
Oh.
know.
Yeah, it's not
mind.
everyone gets a purple. It's
Not the
everyone
purple.
gets
And not everyone could get a purple.
Is it
everyone gets a
blue?
blue. Everyone gets 2, or everyone gets 2 greens. So you get 2 greens or a blue. Group purple, or everyone gets 1
Or
level
group.
up.
Group level up.
Or
Do we
group
wanna-
level up.
Do we want to A, level up? Do we want B, a group purple item? C, we each get 1 blue item? Or D, we each get 2 green items?
Blue.
You want your own item? You don't want to level up, or you don't want purple no more?
My vote's on blue.
How do you feel, Finian / Alex?
I don't know. I'd have to. It's like something where I feel like I'd have to like see I'd have to like look at the options.
Yeah, this
like,
sounds
is
like
there
a
anything- is there anything
also
good for
off-camera
everybody, or is it-
decision.
Yeah, no, this can totally be. This is gonna be so because like we're at the natural endpoint for this episode anyway. So we'll say we will end here. Take some time to think about it. The next time we will come together and do this, you guys will have some time. You can think about what items you would like to gather, if you want to go the item route or the level up route. But it is one or the other. So this is a group decision. You're either all agreeing on items or all agreeing on a level up. Because the ritual can only be performed once, and it is a group activity. So I will give you guys some time to discuss that amongst yourselves and figure out how you would like to approach that, what items you want to look at, et cetera, et cetera. But with that, thank you all for joining us for another episode of Dances with Dice. Please follow us on all social media channels at Dances with Dice, and when you use the hashtag DWDcast or DWDart, we will use you as named NPCs in the show. Thank you all so much, and thank you for joining us every single Tuesday for a new episode of Dances with Dice.